How cool is that? Huh? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was talking to Savannah after the game. If you had told me that was a real possibility at the beginning of the year, I'd said no way, impossible. I've coached with too many like absolutely brilliant teams. Kirby, Nikki, Precious, Toya, Jazz. How about that team, right? And that team still lost one game in the regular season. So I'm just over the moon for our players. It's just a well-earned thing, right? It's a well-earned record, if you want to call it a record. And I'm just so happy for them because they deserve it. That team is full of players and people that are sacrificing for the greater good. And you see it just constantly. And there's two things I was really pleased with today, other than the crowd. The crowd was unbelievable. I'll tell you a story about that. That was a good story. But I just thought two things. I thought we came to play and we didn't back into anything. We weren't scared of this. We didn't feel any pressure, any of that stuff. We came out coming to play, right? And that's number one. Number two was I thought our team really understood senior day. And that's an important thing for a program and a culture is that you understand, why we're starting Olivia Mullins, why we're starting Anna Goodman, why we're starting Rose Scott, and understanding, yeah, let's go. And I'm on your team. And I'm rooting for you, right? And I think it's like a proud dad moment because your culture's good. No, look, my story is to start. Neil has been very high on Monroe, as I am, right? Very like, we got it. And he turned to me after the starting lineups. He said, no, this is going to be a good one right here. We got a great crowd. It's just great energy. And so, I was like, I told you so. Everything's going to be fine here, buddy. So I'm just really, really happy for our players. And I'm looking forward to taking 2 days and resetting a little bit before we get on our next mission.
Susha and Jamia were just talking about a saying that you tell them, sharpening your iron. What does that sort of mean to you, and what do you want it to mean to your players?
Well, we've used it a good amount this year, right? Because I've used a couple different examples, right? But I don't know if I've used it here before. So stop me, Kurt, if I have. But right when you're going into, like, let's say you're going to fight this old-fashioned war, Shane. We got an old-fashioned war, okay? We fight with swords in this old-fashioned war, in this pretend war, right? And you don't win a war in one battle, right? You got to win a lot of battles. Let's use this. What are we? 31 battles, right? So if you're gonna fight this long war, the first battle. When you finish the first battle and you win the first battle, you come back, you're going to sharpen that sword, man. You're going to get everything in a row. You're going to make sure your shield's intact, right? All this stuff's going to be set. So you're ready for battle number 2, right? But at battle number 26, are you getting lazy? You didn't sharpen your sword because you've won some of those battles, won the majority of those battles? Now you're getting, I don't need to sharpen my sword this time, right? So, like, that's what we talk about a lot as a group is, like, the discipline and consistency of being good and wanting to be good is those little things of making sure, even though you think I can win this next battle without sharpening my sword, right? We've used those examples all year long. So they're right on with that.
And going into the half, you guys did have close to a 20-point lead, but only holding them to, I believe, 9 points in the third quarter. What did you see from your defense's execution? Was it more of you guys executing as best as you could, or ULM struggling to find shots or make shots?
I thought we did a better job in the second half of recognizing, like, it was we call it KYP, and it was a KYP game. That means know your personnel. So it's not use like a Ball State. Ball State's got motion-based offense that's all over the place, getting you moving. They can all do this, right? There's a gigantic difference between Jacayla Johnson and Ciante Downs, right? Very different player, right? This one's a shooter, this one's a driver. So, like, I thought we did a better job recognizing personnel on your closeouts, on ball screens. I thought that was our adjustment as a group was, look, senior day is emotional, right? And everything's different. Shoot around's different. Starting lineup's different. I'm with my parents. They're here. I had to go. I went with lunch with. Everything's different, so it can distract you to start a game. But I thought after halftime we settled in and did a better job defensively. So I give credit to our group.
Talk about everything being different and people starting games differently. How about Rose Scott starting the game the way she did when her first game started?
That's maybe one of the better bounce backs I've ever seen from anybody. If you watch the Georgia State game and you saw our interaction in the third quarter, I give her a lot of credit because, I held her hand to the fire a little bit, and she came out ready to go. And she came out with a fresh start, right? A fresh perspective. And I couldn't be more proud of a person today, the way she came out. And I thought she was good Rose Scott today, right? And I know she's wanted to start all year long, right? That's one of the sacrifices I've asked her to do is come off the bench and be that spark for us. So I was really pleased with her. I thought she played just a phenomenal game and defended on the other end too.
You had your moment to embrace every player when they walked on with their parents, but Susha and Jamia, looks like you had a little bit of a longer one with them in particular. What did you tell them before they hit the court for the last time?
I told them some nice things, but I'm not going to tell you. Sorry. Look, there's just it's a chance, right, for somebody like Susha, Jamia, Anna, Micaiah. I know Liv was shorter, 2 years here, and Ro was only 1 year here. But I think it's a chance to reflect for them, right, and me, right, and they've made me better. They've made me a better coach, right? Each one of them brings their own challenges to coaching, right? And I think it's a chance to embrace and appreciate each other, and that's all I'll give you.
What's it mean to you as a coach that because your team delivered the way they did today, you got to do things, I guess, the way you probably hoped they would work out with getting Olivia some more minutes, and then everybody gets their curtain call and all the stuff you want to happen on senior day. But that doesn't happen unless your players come to play.
Correct. Yeah, you're right on with that. And it was as near perfect as a senior day could be, right? And I thought I had a moment where I looked up, it was, I think, 4:30 to go in the fourth. It was like, this is cool. The five starters that don't start and don't always play are on the court together to finish this game. I almost forgot about the curtain call for a second there because I was just enjoying it. It was like they wanted to play. And my staff is yelling at me to get Sushi out of the game. But I thought it was really cool after that to get them all that moment, which is what I hope for, right? And I've been in a lot of situations where you're up 6, 8, and it's tough to do. But that's what I was kind of impressed with, is that I think like Bree's crying in the when other people are walking out pregame because this means something to her, right? It means something when I'm hugging Anna Goodman, right? And that's what I think the culture is showing itself a little bit, is that they knew to turn up to make sure I could let Susha shoot a 3 at the end of the game, and I could let Anna shoot, right? And like they knew that. They knew that. That's the maturity of this group, and that's why I think this group is just really, really special.
I want to follow up with you. That's something that Susha said. She told us, she was talking about the sharpening the iron.
Yeah.
But she also confessed that she hasn't understood half the things you've said during her career here. How has that been with her? I mean, just the unique situation for Susha to play here.
Yeah, and I have no doubt she understands about. Look, she probably understands about 60% and tries to understand about 20% because she's going to do Susha. I've told her all year, I'm like, look, you can shoot 1 3 a game, but let me get you one, and she doesn't listen to me. She did today, though. She did today. Just look, she's an extremely driven individual. She's an extremely hard worker. She is very serious about her craft, and that pushes me. Right, because her standard, I can't come in lower than her standard as a coach, and so that has challenged me some too. Right, to stretch a little bit of my comfort zone with a post player that I trust Coop with my life. Right, But yeah, she's got. I mean, she's in the locker room wearing a knitted sweater from her mom right now. Did she wear that out here?
That was from a fan.
Oh,
She wore it to the press conference. Yes.
she is a wonderful human. I'll tell you that. And I have no doubt of the half my stories. I do a lot of analogies. One I use sometimes on game days. I've run 4 miles every game day. I like to give them an analogy. She thinks I'm making up the stories. She does half the time. She's like, "Did you really do?" Yeah, I really ran. I really did. So she's knucklehead is what she is.
You've had the number 1 seed for since last week, working through this final week, going to 18-0. But some time to maybe think about how you'll approach the upcoming week. Can you share a little bit about how things might be scheduled out for the Dukes coming up?
Yeah, so we're going to get the weekend completely off. It's probably the first 2-day weekend they've had off since October, early October. We'll fully refresh with that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be whatever non-game plan things. So I've got a list already, but maybe it's man offense execution. Maybe it's zone offense execution. Maybe it's 2 new zone sets. Because, we've been going 1 day prep, 1 day prep, 1 day prep, 1 day preps. 1 day preps, I'm not putting in a new play and being able to rep it on time. So it allows me a little bit of wiggle room to play with some things. Maybe we need to work on our side out of bounds end of game stuff, which we haven't had to use. Right? So, I'm not going to get caught down in Pensacola not ready for a down 2 with 3.2 seconds to go. So there's a list. We're going to get together as a staff and figure out what the top priority things are. We'll travel Thursday down to Pensacola, practice Friday, Saturday, and I believe Saturday, our practice time, we will know our opponent. Correct, yes. We'll know our opponent Saturday by the time we practice. So Saturday will be the full 1 day prep, which we've been doing fine, and we'll play Sunday, play Monday. Behind
you. We're looking ahead a little bit. We have rumors and talk of NCAA. What is your going into the Sun Belt Championship? How do you feel about the NCAA tournament?
It's a good question, but it won't be. It's completely out of my control, right? So what I want is our players, I think, have earned the right to go play for the Sun Belt Championship, and let's go do it. And that's all that we can ever control, right? And so I don't even want them thinking about championship yet. I want them thinking about the semifinal game, whoever we're playing, let's focus, play 40 awesome minutes, and then let's see what we got, right? But I won't even – I think it's spinning wheels. And I'll let Neil do that or somebody, He can have it all figured out even though he doesn't really know, right? What our focus will be – give the best 40 minutes you can on Sunday. And then hopefully, right, give the best 40 minutes you can on Monday. Let's celebrate. We know we're going to the NCAA tournament. We know we're going to have a good seed. And hopefully it puts us in a neutral spot and we can have a chance to upset somebody. We will not be favored. I know that. We will not be favored.